Kukulkan here. I hope you're all doing well and staying safe. So I want you to take a look at these pictures on your screen. What are these pictures examples of? Pause and have a think. Well done everyone. So these pictures are examples of buildings, monuments. Well done if you noticed that. Now I have a question. What makes a civilization great? Do you remember what civilization means from our previous lessons? Pause and have a think. So civilization meant the society, culture, and way of life of a particular area. So we have the Maya civilization, the Aztec civilization, and the Inca civilization. So what do you think makes a civilization great? I want you to pause this section and write down what you think. Excellent. So our topic today is to compare and contrast Maya, Aztec, and Inca pyramids. So I want you to get your pencils and your papers and exercise books and write down the long date, Monday 18th of May 2020, and the LI to compare and contrast Maya, Aztec, and Inca pyramids. Great job, everyone. What do you think architecture means? So remember, in our previous Romans topic, we did touch upon this word. Have a think. Architecture is the art or practice of designing and constructing buildings. So everyone, I want you to write this definition down in your books and tell your adults what this definition is. Well done, everyone. So many people believe that architecture is what makes civilizations great as well. So it's one factor that makes civilizations great. What is the name of these buildings? Take a close look. These are called pyramids. Well done if you got that correct. So have you ever heard of pyramids before? What countries do you think of when you think of the word pyramids? Most commonly, we think of Egypt when we think of pyramids, the ancient Egyptians. So this pyramid over here is from Egypt. This one over here is from Sudan. It's one of the Nubian pyramids. And down at the bottom is one of the Maya pyramids, which we'll be learning more about in detail. So just take a close look at the pictures just so you see the similarities and differences between how they look like. Maya pyramids. The Kukulkan Pyramid in Chichen Itza, which is known as El Castillo, the castle. Who was Kukulkan? Do you remember who Kukulkan was? Kukulkan was the Maya snake god. Well done if you remembered that from our previous lessons. Chichen Itza, the meaning means at the mouth of the well at Itza. El Castillo, what language is this in? I think some of you would be able to guess this. It's in Spanish. Well done if you got that correct. So over here is a close-up. There's some close-up pictures of El Castillo. What features do you spot? Can you spot Kukulkan anywhere? So take a close look, and I want you to write all of this down. Well done, everyone. So we can see at the bottom over here, these are some beautiful stone carvings. We can see steps. We can see Kukulkan. Now, the Maya built two kinds of pyramids. They each had the familiar pyramid shape. They each had steep steps up the side that would allow someone to climb to the top. They were built for religious purposes and for the gods. However, they had their differences as well. The first type of pyramid had a temple at the top and was meant to be climbed by the priests to make sacrifices to the gods. The stairs going up the sides of these pyramids were steep, but not too steep for the priests to climb. The most important religious ceremonies were held at the top of these pyramids. The second type of pyramid was a sacred pyramid built to a god. What do you think sacred means? Pause and have a think. So sacred means something which is connected to a god or the gods are dedicated for a religious purpose. These pyramids were not to be climbed or touched by humans. There were still steps going up the side of these pyramids, but they were often too steep to climb without a lot of effort. These pyramids were sometimes built with secret doors, tunnels, and traps. Why do you think there were these secret doors, tunnels, and traps? Have a think. It was because this type of pyramid wasn't meant to be touched by humans, so there were all of these obstacles to prevent humans from going up. I want you to pause this section and read this to yourselves as well. El Castillo. This pyramid was built as a temple to the god Kukulkan in the city of Chichen Itza. The total height of the pyramid is just under 100 feet. Each side of El Castillo has 91 steps. When you add up the steps on all four sides and then add in the top platform as a step, there are 365 steps. What do you think these 365 steps represent? Have a think. It's one for each day of the year. Well done if you noticed that. Now moving on to the Aztec pyramids. The pyramids of the Aztecs were very similar to those of the Maya. The main difference was that the Aztec would sometimes build more than one temple on the top of the pyramid. They built pyramids in order to house and honor their deities. Deities is just another word for their gods. Tenochtitlan, the great Aztec capital, housed the Great Pyramid, a four-step structure, some 60 meters high. At its top, two shrines honored the Aztec god of sun and war and the god of rain and fertility. So take a close look at these pictures. The Inca pyramids. The Inca ruler Pachacuti Yupanqui began the construction of a great temple pyramid, Sacsayhuaman, in the capital city of Cuzco. It took 20,000 workers 50 years to build the pyramid, constructed from huge stones fitted together without mortar. So usually when we build buildings, if you see bricks outside when you're walking, there's always this layer, it's called mortar, to get the bricks to kind of stick together. But as you can see over here, these huge stones were fitted without mortar. The Incas, Latin America's last great indigenous civilization to survive, used the same building technique to construct the marvelous stone city, Machu Picchu, high in the Andes. So pause and take a look at the slide and read it to yourselves. Well done for your great concentration, everyone. Now for your task, I want you to draw a mind map on the pyramids in the three empires. And mind maps are really useful because it helps you to visualize your thoughts, think, collect knowledge, and remember it. So over here, it's just an example. You can have pyramids in the middle and then have some subheadings such as features, gods, and then from gods you can even have some extra branches coming out of it. So I have an example here. El Castillo was built as a temple to the Maya god Kukulkan. In the second branch, you can add something about the Aztec gods over here. and the features, you do the same thing. So I want you to do this, and there's just some examples of some other mind maps, just so that you get some inspiration of how they look like. So over here, there's one of the kings of the Middle Ages. So once you've done all of that, I want you to take a picture and email your work to year4@grange.harrow.sch.uk. Well done, everyone.